Hi, listeners. I'm here with Gustavo Granados. He is entering a big night for Jackhammer Promotions. He's got a big title fight against Eric Shifter. Thanks for joining us today, Gus.
Pleasure to be here, man. How's everything? Good?
Yeah, not bad, man. It's fight week for you. So how's everything going with you?
It feels great, man. I can't wait. I've been pumped this whole couple months just for this match, man.
Well, it's huge, man. You got a big title fight.
Yeah, so it could be belt number 3, and on top of that, it's a whole new field. It'll be my debut MMA match.
Oh, really? That's a pretty big stage to be on.
Yeah. This whole time I've been fighting on Bobby's card with just kickboxing events. So I figured why not just try to take it a step further and just move on to MMA.
Yeah, like it's pretty cool that Jackhammer they reached out to us about because we've been strictly doing MMA, but we've been following Jackhammer Promotions for a while now, and like everything they do is always like high level quality every time.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I love the environment. You know, Bobby and his wife, they do an awesome job with the setups, the camera crew, everything. I love it. They're very good people.
Is there any added pressure that you're co-main eventing on like their debut MMA card?
It wouldn't be my first time being the co-main event, so I do feel laid back, but I'm still on my toes because literally anything can happen in the match.
Yeah, it's true, and you know, especially with these big events, right? Like there's a lot of you can't make any mistake, right?
Because literally a second, not taken seriously could cost the whole fight. It can literally change just like that.
Do you know much about your opponent, like Eric Shifter?
He's grappling based. I know that much. I mean, I haven't really seen. I've seen a clip or two, but nothing too crazy. I've just been trying to stay focused on my game and my approach to it.
How's the training going? Like you're a couple of days out. It's getting closer to fight night. Any injuries that have been adding up, or is it good to
I
go?
mean, throughout the fight itself, no. I've literally been training day in, day out. Even after hours when classes are done, I'm still in the gym just putting the hours in.
So like the ISKA title, it's a MMA belt. Does that add any more pressure or not really?
Well, it does. It does. I mean, I'd say it makes me nervous, but not in a negative way, because again, it's a whole new field. I'm not sure what to expect from Eric, but I'm pretty sure he'll try to give in as much as I would for the belt. So it just brings me more motivation to just try to drive and give everything I got for it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that you guys get to enter the cage and do something you're really passionate about, and then to be rewarded at the end of the night with like a major title like this. It's a pretty cool experience that you guys get to go through.
Yeah, and you learn from it. Whether you win or you lose, you're still gaining your experience from it, and it's just only gonna benefit you in the future.
Yeah, like you're a fairly young guy, so it like a lot of people like to dwell on those losses or wins, or they think that's going to be make their career. But I find a lot of fighters they learn more from losses. You know.
Yeah, I've come a long way. Like I've been training with Charles Raymond of Victory Martial Arts for about 6 years now, and I have to give it to him. He's taught me so much, even outside of the martial arts aspect, and I can't thank him anymore for that.
Yeah.
And following from him and the students that I work with in the school, my family's also a big influence on that as well. And I'm very grateful, even from the wins and the losses, because I admit I've dwelled on some of those losses, but at the same time, I try to reflect on it and see why that outcome came to be, and I just try to work on those more.
See, that's a great mentality to have because it's a beautiful sport, MMA, you know, or even like kickboxing,
It
like you're
is.
saying, because you get in that cage, and at the end of the day, those losses mean nothing. It's you and that guy against you. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like
Exactly.
it's crazy how this sport is. It's not always about winning. Sometimes the best wins come after a loss.
Yeah. It doesn't, like, everybody gets knocked down. It's whether you're gonna stay down or if you're gonna get back up and try again.
It's not even for like MMA or fighting. That's just life in general, right? It's
Exactly. Yeah.
like anybody can win, but it takes a real champion to learn from a loss. Or not saying like not to put
Well,
any bad
no,
mojo
no,
in
no.
there.
I get where you're trying to go.
Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
with a stage like this, hopefully people like, because we're gonna do our part to get that message out there. Right now, just like this is our first time talking with you, and it's a great message that you're presenting to people.
I just like to try to have that aspect. I mean, not trying to seem like that perfect guy, but I'm just trying to be like, I've been there and you can get through it, you know?
So, like, what inspired you to get into MMA and like the combat sport world?
If we're being fairly honest, I never thought I'd even be in this type of environment. I never thought, hey, let me just go into MMA, because when I was younger, I want to say about maybe 2000, 2001. um I would be up late at night just flipping through channels, and I came across UFC, and I had no idea what it was. I had no idea. I just seen two guys beating the shit out of each other, and I was like, wow, like that's pretty much what really sparked it. And then a couple years go by, and my cousin, I went to my cousin's house, and they were just showing up there, and I asked them, where were you coming from? And they mentioned the school I'm currently at now.
Oh wow.
So they were urging me, you should try to give it a try. It's a good workout. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? I've always wanted to learn how to defend myself, and I can get a workout from it as well. So then I just gave in, and I just gave it a shot. And from there on, I never stopped going.
So, how long have you been fighting for? Like,
Competing,
yes.
it's been about 2 to 3 years that I've been competing.
Okay. And I saw that you like you said, you were doing kickboxing. And is it for this fight with Eric? Is it like a different transition, or is it you just stick to the same game plan?
To the same game plan. Well, I obviously have to change the game plan because he's a grappler. I can't just stay on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there are gonna be some changes made, yes. But I also need to, visualize how he's gonna take the approach. So there's a lot of things that really come into the fight. I can't say what's gonna happen to the match. I mean, I can say that, like, I could just say I'm gonna beat the shit out of this guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really have to wait till the day comes, because again, anything could really happen.
And that honestly, that to me, that's my favorite part about the sport is you can have all these wins and like you can be so undefeated, but at the end of the day, as soon as that cage door locks, it doesn't matter. It's who has that the bigger heart that night.
Exactly. Who wants it more?
Exactly.
Pretty much the question at hand.
Yeah,
Who wants it more?
it's crazy how a sport like this can do that.
Yeah, and sometimes you see all these young talented fighters, and like you can really see which one has been working the hardest, and who really finds passion in the art itself. It's just something that doesn't really compare only to the people that are in it or been there.
Yeah, like I've never was like competing in the sport ever, but I've always loved like the art of like competition. And this sport is at the end of the day whose heart and who has worked harder, because you see a lot of fighters that they have a chance to quit in a fight and they sometimes take it, but then there's those guys that they are losing and then they take another step and they find a new level and they just reach down deep and they find something new in themselves. And that,
They
to
find
me,
a way.
exactly. And once those are the guys I loved watching the most. Is
I think of it as those Rocky moments. You see Rocky taking all those hits and punches, and his face is getting all battered up, but somehow he lands that nice hook, and then he starts making that turnover.
Well, even with Jackhammer Promotions, that's one thing we love about their fight nights. A lot of the people on the cards, like yourself, you guys are fighters. You have it in you, and there's no one-sided fight that I've seen that they've always been competitive, and that's the beauty about this company is they keep putting like guys like you on like co-main and like the main events, and they find fighters that make these cards special.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No, thank you, man. Like everything you're doing in that cage, we respect, and hopefully goes your way on Sunday, right?
Yes, I'm feeling confident about this match. It'll be an awesome match. I can't wait. I really can't.
We don't mean to keep you any longer. Is there any shout outs you'd like to give to like any fans or friends or coaches?
I just want to say thank you to my coaches, to my teammates of the schools, everybody that I've worked with, my family. God, first and foremost, I really couldn't do it without any of them, and I most likely wouldn't even be here without them. So I'm deeply grateful for that.
Any other last thoughts you have?
I just want to shout out to my opponent himself, Eric Shifter. I wish you the best and good luck on the match.
Well, thank you for your time, Gustavo, and can't wait to see you at Jackhammer Promotions, The Beatdown.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.